Welcome back to Munchausen's Proxy, where the gift that keeps on giving to YouTube creators has surfaced again to provide us with fodder. In an article from February 27th that is now making the rounds, Jennifer Salke, head of Amazon Studios, came out with an interesting reaction to a question posed to her on the red carpet of Creed 3. She was apparently asked about Warner Bros. CEO David Zaslav announcing on an analyst call that Warner Bros. Will be pursuing new Lord of the Rings projects with the movie rights they have to the IP. Zaslav, seemingly the rare non-idiot in Hollywood these days, took over Warner Bros. When Discovery bought the studio from AT&T last year. Upon finalizing the deal, Zaslav began going through the WB lineup with ruthless abandon. His priorities for the distressed and financially shaky studio was for them to focus on the Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and DC IPs that the studio either owns outright, as is the case with DC Comics, or holds the rights to, as with the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Amazon Salke was asked for her reaction to the announcement, given that Amazon is trying to cash in on their newly acquired but limited rights to portions of J.R. Tolkien's writings with the rather disastrous series The Rings of Power. Salke responded to the question of how much Lord of the Rings the market could handle with, quote, "We'll see," she told Variety. Quote, "We love our original series. We're extremely proud of it and invested for the long term. So we definitely think there's enough fan love to sustain ours for a long time," unquote. Which only made me wonder whether she is heavily medicated, delusional, or being lied to by the underlings at Amazon who know what the real numbers for the Rings of Power were. Both Salke and Jeff Bezos are probably pissed beyond measure that Warner Bros. Will be horning in on their Lord of the Rings turf. Amazon tried to acquire the movie rights to Tolkien, but the company that owns them realized that they would have trouble distributing any Amazon movie, since Warner Bros. Still has distribution rights. The fact that Tolkien fans revolted vocally in reaction to what they saw coming from Amazon, and love what Peter Jackson did with Warner Brothers the first time around, cannot do anything but worry the executives at Amazon, especially given the delays Rings has faced. In addition to the thumb in the eye of Amazon by announcing new Lord of the Rings projects, Warner Brothers also just scooped up 2 executives from the newly acquired MGM that Amazon closed the deal on last March. Mike DeLuca and Pamela Abdi were veteran producers who headed MGM's film operation, and both left the studio shortly after Amazon closed the deal for MGM for a reported $8.5 billion. The pair are now in charge of running Warner Bros. Pictures. The end of the article suggests that Season 2 of Amazon's The Rings of Power will debut sometime in 2023, but insider sources have been leaking for months that the second season of Amazon's attempt at epic fantasy probably won't see the light of day until well into 2024. While 5 or 10 years ago the idea of more Lord of the Rings movies would have delighted me, current-day Hollywood has killed any enthusiasm I have for such projects unless the person leading them is someone I know is a fan and invested in preserving the integrity of the source material. I do not know that there are such people inside of Warner Brothers who are so invested in the Lord of the Rings. In the positive column for WB is the fact that they have apparently been in touch with Peter Jackson, Philippa Boyens, and Fran Walsh, who were the people behind Peter Jackson's successful trilogies. On the flip side, Jackson has been quoted as saying Amazon contacted him initially for the Rings of Power, but then ghosted him when it came time for specifics to be discussed. That is all I have for you this video. If you like what I do here, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and make sure the bell icon is clicked so you're notified when new videos are uploaded. I will be back for another video about the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons movie pretty soon. Until then, tschüss.